Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda. I don't know what a yiff is, so I was going to make a joke about it, but I don't want to say a furry thing and not actually know what a furry thing is,
Oh.
Princess.
Princess.
So, yeah.
Oh.
So don't anybody tell...
The
I
answer to
don't
that,
want to know what a yiff is.
I'm not going to tell you. The answer is, do you want to know?
No. No, I don't. I think...
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Massey knows. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, I know too.
Yeah.
So we get to
Okay,
play as Midna and her trusty steed again. I've been waiting for this moment.
Yeah, like, okay, so I think I mentioned this earlier, but I think Minna is probably canonically the most powerful character in the series, because even severely weakened, she can lift a freaking bridge on her own.
Why do we need Link?
I don't know.
He's the steed. He gets her places
Yeah.
faster.
Good point.
So why did the goblin things kidnap the kids again?
'Cause he could.
Ilya smells good.
Ilya smells like pink, apparently.
E- and Midna looks so done with Link, like, smelling people. I actually don't know why they bothered kidnapping people in the first place, actually.
I mean, in a grittier fantasy setting, this would probably be a slavery thing. But like, they never
Yikes.
even imply whatever the hell the goblin people do with their prisoners in this game. It's just kind of
Cause they just...
They're evil.
Because they're jerks.
Cause, like,
They're just
basically...
storing them for food.
Because, like, this is Zant's endgame is already done at the beginning of the game. He covered all of Hyrule and Twilight. He won, and we're just undoing what he did. Now that I think about it, but I don't know what the point of kidnapping the kids was. I guess because they're assholes.
Yeah, there's basically no outside point other than just, like, establishing that they're bad.
Maybe they were a snack for the road. Maybe that's the only other thing I can think of.
they left most
Like-
of their snack supply behind.
Shit.
Well, I think it's implied that, like, Ronaldo attacked them at some point and attacked whoever was running the cart, basically, and somebody got hurt. I don't remember the lore about this part of the game. The people, as much as I enjoy the beginning part of the game with the town and whatnot, and I am attached to, like, some of the characters in there, it's very fuzzy. Like, I'm very fuzzy on the, okay, well, what happened to make them not be captured in between Link passing out and getting to Kakariko. So
They just kind of escaped. They don't really explain it.
yeah. And I mean, I guess it's not that important because it's just the impetus for Link to leave, I guess. But I mean, I suppose Midna being there is probably enough for him to just get going. Although she is a jerk, so maybe they needed a reason that wouldn't result in him just saying no and staying home. So, whatever. Anyway, this is easily the longest section where you're just stuck as the wolf. Although, I guess it makes sense considering that the Lanayru province is easily the biggest province in the game. So, makes sense. I think it wouldn't maybe be as bad if you were able to start the bug collecting sooner. Because one of the things that I do like about the wolf sections when you're in Twilight is, as tedious as it is to explore and get the bugs, I like that it's a twist on how these sort of things normally work with Zelda, where normally you explore the area in its normal form first, like the light world. When you're, why didn't I cut out that? Okay, whatever. But like you explore the world in its normal state first most of the time. Light world as a Link in Link to the Past, or the world before it's destroyed in Ocarina of Time, so on and so forth. But in this game, it's flipped, where you're exploring the world in its Twilight form first, which is backwards from how you normally do.
Well,
it's a subtle thing, but I like it.
I would agree with you if the Twilight version did anything different with the world other than just you're stuck as the wolf.
Well, the people are all trapped. You can't interact with them. It's a little bit
Like you could do much with them in the first place.
well. I guess the point that I was just trying to make is that I do like that this is I think this is an interesting and somewhat different way to explore the worlds for the first time. So I would have liked if you were able to start finding the bugs when you first started this section, because you do end up having to backtrack through Hyrule Castletown and find bugs here, for example, and you do end up having to go through at least some of the areas we've just been before. So it would have cut down on some of the backtracking and made it feel a little bit less pointless if we could have at least found some of the bugs on our way through here and not have to come back for little reason, you know? They could have made it work that way, I think, is the thing.
So obviously the goblin people are pretty lame, because we're already trailing Ilya's pink scent through Castletown, past a hospital. Obviously, things did not go to plan there.
She got, I think they all got knocked off the cart at some point. The kids just ended up going one way, and Ilya ended up going a different way. Is
With
basically just what
amnesia.
happened. Oh yeah, the amnesia thing for Ilya is so random. For me, I don't really get
It doesn't have it doesn't have a reason to be there.
I mean, I guess they want you to feel like there's something wrong with this character you care about, and you want them.
I don't give a flying shit about Ilya. Sorry.
Well, I mean, that sounds like a you problem, Ryan. But, no, I mean, seriously, I know why you don't care about Ilya. It's because she doesn't really do anything. And we don't get... I think, as much as this sounds dumb to say right now, if the opening section were longer, and we had more time to get used to Ilya and more attached to her, then maybe this part would have more impact. But I think the last thing this game needs is a longer intro.
I don't think you need to make the game longer. I think maybe for a bit, maybe 2 hours or so, you have her accompany you through a couple of things.
I
So
would
she's
more agree there.
proto-Midna?
If she didn't
Yeah,
get
sure,
yoinked
yeah.
right at the very beginning, maybe
Yeah,
possibly.
I'm trying to think of a game that does something like that, and I know that there is one, but I'm blanking on. Well, I haven't played it, but I guess Snake in Metal Gear Solid 2, the game.
You totally could have done a Charlie's Angels-esque setup where you have Zelda, Ilya, and Midna just accompanying Link.
Hi, Link.
In different instances of the game.
The Legend of Zelda Twilight waifus, basically.
I suppose so. Zelda's the end-all be-all person that's going to guide you to where you need to go. But say in the light world you need guidance, then you go to Ilya. In Twilight you talk to Midna.
I mean, I guess that could work, or maybe if they were.
Yeah. Again, I'm just throwing suggestions at a dartboard that's not really there.
And it I mean, I know that a lot of these would require rewriting the entire script, so do with that with what you will. But it's interesting to see what different story. Because one thing I do like about this game, and I don't know how much I mentioned it earlier, I like that this game does have a story that feels important to the game. I know that for some people that might not matter. They don't play Zelda for the story. They just don't want it here, get it out of the way. And I suppose that's fine. That's just a difference in taste. But one thing that I do like is that the 3D Zeldas have always felt like they were supposed to be grander, and having a story that moves along with your adventure is part of that to me. So I like that this game does try to have a story that feels bigger and more important. I guess it's just that a lot of the
I'm
points
on
don't-
and off about that, mostly because a lot of these story plot parts lead to a lot of fluff,
I suppose
gameplay-wise.
I suppose the bugs I think are
The
probably
bugs and we're getting to it with the Rudo kid. It's yeah, you're trying to have more interconnected story beats with stuff going on with characters, but that really just leads to a fetch quest, and I kind of just want to get a move on.
I can understand that.
I have a tolerance for it where it's I can definitely take a good substantial amount of fluff, but it really just depends on how much they use it and what they do with it, because I know that we've talked about the bugs a lot, but also it comes up a lot.
Well, we won't have to worry about bugs because this is the last section where they are in the game.
Yeah,
thankfully.
fair.
So, at the very least, you get it over quickly.
True enough.
Well, relatively so.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, granted, then you get Poe Souls in the part afterwards, which at least are optional bugs. You know, that's true. Also, I didn't notice that when you were on the bridge at first that was supposed to be oil instead of water.
I did not understand that either.
I don't think that they animated that enemy going out. I think they just kind of moved it.
I think this sequence also has a very bad save bug.
With the bridge and the...
Yeah, this bridge sequence.
I wouldn't be surprised, like, if you paused and saved and... I don't even know if the game would let you save and quit, like...
Yeah,
here.
I'm not sure, but I believe there is a save bug in this particular area, but I can't remember what it does exactly.
Also, that's the slowest spreading oil fire I've ever seen in my life. It's a good thing that we can survive...
Thoroughly.
It's a good thing we can survive 100-foot falls when all the water is drained out of the lake.
I mean, you still land in the water, so...
Yeah, but it's very, very lucky because that's a very small amount of water.
I mean,
to be
also...
left.
It's not even the amount. It's not even the amount. It's how high you fall from it. It's like hitting concrete.
Yeah, no, you'd still
falling
die.
in water is not good either.
No, yeah. If it's any like more than like a professional diving board or whatever, you're still gonna hurt when you land on it.
Some broken bones, some pancaked organs. That's fine.
What do you guys think about how the Zoras look in this one?
They're pretty.
Yeah,
I don't see the need of the helmets.
Yeah, the helmets are kind of unnecessary, but I like the way they look. I always like these kind of versions of Zoras versus the Link to the Past kind of more monstery Zoras.
Yeah, same.
Well, they're different Zoras.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's racist, John. Okay, all Zoras are
No,
created
they are
equal.
technically different concepts as
Yeah,
far as
there's
Zelda's
Zoras
concerned.
and there's River Zoras. River Zoras look like the mermen from like Creatures of the Deep.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, going back to earlier where we were comparing the go-arounds to the doors, I more or less considered these Zoras the quote-unquote elves in a lot of senses.
Yeah, I can.
They were
I feel
kind of
that.
the pretty more sophisticated feeling race compared to the others.
They're really
helmets
slim
just look
and very
tacked on,
like
though.
dainty almost.
Yeah.
I like the idea for them in Breath of the Wild where they're based off of all different types of fish.
Oh,
But-
I love that. I love their design in Breath of the Wild.
I
They're a lot more
like the
varied.
idea. I don't know how much I like all of the different... Like, I mean, I like that a lot of them are very visually distinct from each other, so they're not just the same 5 Zoras over and over again, but they're weird and different, and I don't like things are different because I have a shallow concept of what is safe to me. And expanding outside of that zone causes anxiety that I don't know how to deal with. I mean...
But you still like Sidon, right?
I mean... He's a good bro. I like him as a bro. He's probably the best of the... Oh no, Riju's pretty great too. I love Riju.
So the Twilight monsters learned how to blow the bird grass.
Yeah, and they have their own birds though. Although I think if it
Those
were...
are big birds. Also.
I think if it were really paying attention to detail, it would be played backwards though. So instead of doo doo dee doo, would be doo dee doo dee. No, just me. Okay.
Yep. Why do all the Twilight birds sound like they're suffocating a trombone?
Probably because they are suffocating trombones.
How do they breathe or see?
Well, they got a giant orifice in their mouth.
Maybe their brain is on the tail and their butt's on their face.
What's the name of that one dude from Hyrule?
What dude?
The Wizrobe.
Wizrobe?
The wizard.
Oh, his eye and
What
his
is it-
mouth
is it
are the same
Wizrobe?
thing.
Yeah, his eye and his mouth are in the same spot.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean that.
Maybe it's just
Yeah, but that's
that.
like it's clear that his eye and his mouth are the same thing. Whereas here, this guy just does not have a face. So you know.
that we know. Maybe he's always in battle mode and just always has his mouth ready to go.
All right, whatever. Anyway, this Twilight bird is surprisingly cool with you killing that dude, and just lets you drive him.
He had no emotional attachment whatsoever.
I mean, that's true. It'd be like if you killed your Uber driver. It'd be like if you're
I
an
was
Uber
told
driver.
some words about that.
So if you kill your Uber driver, the car won't
my
care.
I mean, that's true.
Oh no! Like,
Although thinking
my
about it, I
goodness.
like the idea of Minna stealing a car and then like with the way that the bird is carrying Wolf Link there, I like the idea of Midna stealing like a normal sedan or something and stuffing Link into the trunk.
hey, your Uber's here.
Minna strikes me as the kind of person that will kill the Uber driver, steal the car, and then leave a 1-star review.
Struggled too much during fight. Would not recommend.
While I was murdering him.